Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's me. It's me. It's the GOC coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the earth. Here for another episodic YouTube adventure on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel for Chaos Corner. Shout out to my moderators, my brother from another mother, Austin Nance, and of course, the OTS Tribal Queen. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. Sit back and relax. Grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, maybe a bottle of water. Grab some lunch, some breakfast. You can eat breakfast at any time. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. Much love and respect. Drop an elbow on that like button, leave a comment, and get us into the algorithm as we go on with story time. Short stories here on the channel, because this is a show. This isn't a fucking podcast, it's a show. I apologize for the cussing. The modern day warrior. World-class championship wrestling was the breeding ground for some of the most influential stars in the history of the business. That's for sure, especially in the early 80s. For example, before he was rambling nonsense and dominating the WWF as the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig was earning his stripes in Texas as the Dingo Warrior. The baby. The dingo ate your baby. What quote from what television series, what sitcom is that from? Maybe the dingo ate your baby. Let's not forget Gentleman Chris Adams, star pupil Steve Austin, who was stunningly impressive during his debut at the Dallas Sportatorium years before dropping his famous F-bombs upon the wrestling universe. Which brings us to one of the best-known families in wrestling history. Of course, there's the Hart family. There's the Armstrong family, the legendary Samoan dynasty. I can go on and on. But there's also the Von Erichs. The Von Erich family, minus pseudo-cousin Lance Von Erich, what a debacle that was, conspired of a rich history of squared circle royalty led by family patriarch Fritz Von Erich, a.k.a. Jack Atkinson. And I think The Iron Claw was a good movie. You have to take yourself out of the business and what you know and take the movie for what it was. Okay? With most of you out there that have the brain of a dehydrated baby. I mean, no offense, man. Kayfabe what I say. Don't be so uptight. Don't get offended, man. Take the movie for what it's worth. Take yourself out of what you know or you think you know about the Von Erich family. Yeah, there were some snafus. They didn't mention Chris. There were a lot of things that were left out of it. But if you were just a casual or just a moviegoer, you would have thought the movie was excellent. I thought it was pretty solid myself. Just my opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. Taking the wrestling world by storm, hence his future WWE nickname, the Texas Tornado. Kerry Von Erich was perhaps the most well-known and successful member of the entire Von Erich clan. Obviously, Chris, Michael, Kerry, David, Kevin, unbelievable and world class. I was a huge fan in the early 80s into the middle 80s. The Von Erichs were truly incredible. Tragic? Absolutely. Where were we? In the spring of 1984, the modern-day Warrior reached the highlight of his career by defeating Ric Flair at Texas Stadium during the highly emotional David Von Erich Parade of Champions. Although the reign lasted only 18 days, the world-class Warrior soon set his sights on memorable moments against the likes of the fabulous Freebirds, Gino Hernandez, and Jerry the King Lawler. In the summer of 1990, Von Erich made his debut for the WWE on Saturday night's main event which is coming up next week, I believe, here in 2025. His brief but memorable whirlwind through the Federation that once introduced us to Brock Lesnar, Battle Cat, and Man Mountain Rock was highlighted by an Intercontinental Championship title run, along with a WrestleMania victory against Dino Bravo. Just as infamous as the Von Erich Claw was the family's penchant for tragedy. In February of 1993, Kerry Von Erich took his life amidst his constant struggle with substance abuse over the years. In 2009, the entire Von Erich family was posthumously inducted into the WWE's Hall of Fame, solidifying a permanent place shared with other wrestling immortals and a spot amongst the Battle Royal in the Sky's greatest gods. And as we know today, here in 2025, Kevin Von Erich is the only Von Erich of the brothers that has survived. Truly a legend and a man of God. His sons, Marshall and Ross Von Erich, have been in the business for well over a decade now, working for Ring of Honor, AEW, and if I'm not mistaken, they may have just signed a contract with AEW, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. So the legacy lives on. World class, the Sportatorium, the Von Erichs will live on in infamy forever. Say what you want, say what you will. Who are we to judge? Thank you for being here on this brief story of the modern day warrior, Kerry Von Erich. I'll be back with more shorts here on the channel. Austin, are you ready? Are you ready, Austin? Stand by. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.